So, squatting. How many people I see who can't actually squat is remarkable. It's basically a fundamental movement of a human being. Basically, when you think about a young toddler, they're playing on the floor a lot, and how do they go to the floor and get things off the floor? They squat. Now I know they do other movements as well, but basically this is a normal, natural movement. And what it comes down to in the Western world is that we do this as a child, then we get to school age, and then we've got desks and worktops and all the rest of it. We start to do things there and play there and so on and so forth. So then the use it or lose it effect comes into play. So you lose the ability to squat deep. So obviously then with the way that modern worlds have gone more is that we've got more sedentary lifestyles even as children, less PE, less out of school work and stuff like that. Then obviously you move into into adulthood. Now this is where it can get problematic because again you've gone all that time where you haven't actually done them squatting movements and so on. So then what happens is you then might go into a job that requires you to get to the floor. So it could be carpet fitter or tiler or something along them lines. Suddenly you're acutely asked to be able to get back to the floor again, but you can't squat correctly because you've not done it since you were a toddler. So you squat not very well, but also you squat in a way, or any way of squatting, getting to the floor is unusual to you. So you're going to put excess strain on your knees potentially because you're not going to be strong both within the joints, within the structures, within the muscles, or you start bending more in the back. And again, not that bending in your back is inherently bad, but you're going to suddenly acutely increase the loads there and the demands there, but with nothing to sort of prepare you for that. And it's interesting because if you go to other countries of the world where they haven't got sedentary lifestyles and they haven't got like desks and worktops and counter surfaces and they have to wash things in rivers and so on and so forth, well, they can still squat, and they can squat to a grand old age, and they need to because that's functionally needed in their lives. And at the end of the day, they, like, if you think about it, like if you need a toilet, you have to squat to the toilet because there's a hole in the ground rather than sitting on a toilet. So that means if you're 90 or even 100 years old, then you will still be able to squat, which means it's not an age thing, it's just a use it or lose it thing. And squatting done how they do it, a caveman style squat if you like, is very, very functional and very, very useful. And it's something that we're lacking in modern society, and it's becoming potentially an issue because it's becoming an issue within modern lifestyle in the way that we move. So we just repetitively bend in the back, bend in the back, bend in the back, which then just overworks the back rather than a nice variety of ways of bending. So bending in the back would still be done even in the non-Western world, but you would also bend in the knees more, you'd squat correctly, you'd lunge, you'd use your body in a multitude of ways in a lot of variety, and that's good for us. So I think the thing we've got to think about is to try and learn to do these basic movements again. The thing is you go on a manual handling course and they talk about trying to bend through your hips and knees, keeping your back straight. Well, that's a squat. The problem is that what you find is that they don't check you can do this. They don't teach you to do this. They don't check you've got the ability, the range, because you'll have lost the flexibility maybe, or lost the strength to do it, and the capacity to do it. So they just blanketly tell you to do it and then expect you to go away and do it. So it just doesn't get done. And people find it hard because it will be hard. If you haven't done something since you were a kid, you're going to find it challenging. Does that mean it's wrong? No. It just means it's difficult initially, but if you work on it over time, you get better at it. And then you might be able to access the squat in real life a bit more, and therefore create more variety to the way you move. And as they say, variety is the spice of life. So again, the more you move in variety, the better off you're going to be. So basically, this is something which I would definitely advocate. I think getting people to be able to squat again and squat with more weights means squatting with their own weight is going to become easier. It means they're going to move better and they're going to get less chance of problems. They're going to be stronger as well, which we know is injury preventative too. So anyway, that's this video on squatting, and I'll see you next time.